Hello, class. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest update. We start with Ronald Araujo, as it has been reported that the Barca defender is leaning towards undergoing a surgery after meeting with the Barca medical staff. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about the El Clasico, it has been confirmed the date and the time that the first El Clasico will take place. Of course, we are going to be discussing on that particular time and the date that have just been confirmed today. Then to conclude, talking about Jules Koundé, as it has been reported that the Barca defender is hoping to be fit in time for the El Clasico. He's currently out with a hamstring injury. We're also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Ronald Araujo is supposed to take a decision on whether he wants to opt to undergo surgery or choose conservative treatment following his thigh problem while on international duty with Uruguay. The 23-year-old defender did not even last a minute in that friendly game against Iran this past week and had to be subbed off. Having returned to Barcelona, Araujo was subjected to tests and examinations, following which the extent of his injury was determined. While conservative treatment is an option for his condition, Barcelona are worried about the repeat of situations that happened with the likes of Ansu Fati and Samuel Umtiti, who had decided not to undergo surgery to treat their respective conditions. Araujo met with Barcelona manager Xavi Hernandez and the club's medical staff, including Dr. Ricard Prona, earlier today to, discuss the options on the table for Araujo. And now, as per Javi Miguel, the defender is now leaning towards undergoing surgery rather than opting for conservative treatment. The same has been conveyed by another report from Esport 3 in Spain, who claimed that the option of operation is now being looked at favorably by the defender after he spoke with Xavi and the rest of the staff earlier today. An official decision about the same is expected to be announced by the club in a few hours' time. Surgery, of course, would mean a recovery time of 2 to 3 months for Araujo, which of course would see him definitely miss the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. The Uruguayan national team do not want that and have been pressuring Araujo to decide against that operation. But it seems like Araujo is keeping in mind the long-term career prospect and is leaning towards surgery. Wow, wow, wow. What a sacrifice from Ronald Araujo. One in a million players who decide what Araujo just decide. When we consider the fact that the World Cup is coming up, hardly can we see any player now deciding to go for long-term treatment when the player knows he's supposed to play a World Cup in just 2 months or one and a half months time. This is just to tell you how Araujo knows the best for his career, and sacrificing the World Cup that every player likes to play in, it speaks volumes, honestly speaking. I think in the long run, it's a very good decision for Araujo going for surgery, because the thing is, if he opts for conservative treatment, I'm sorry, we might just start calling Araujo an injury-prone player maybe in the next month or so, because that's what is happening with Ansu Fati. Look at Samuel Umtiti, who have been loaned to the Serie A side Lecce. The same problem have never been stable when it comes to their fitness. They have never. Ansu Fati now, Xavi is so scared to even put him in many matches because Ansu Fati is not a guaranteed. He cannot guarantee you that you'll be fit for long, because Ansu Fati refused to go for a surgery. And now that we saw Luis Enrique not even calling Ansu Fati for the international break, he was annoyed, he was angry, and feels sad. But the thing is, to some extent, it's Ansu Fati's fault. So I think Araujo's decision is a very, very brave decision, big decision for that matter. I will not lie, if I was in Araujo's shoes, I would be tempted to play the World Cup. Many players would do that, but he opted that no. I cannot be called an injury-prone player. I better go for the long-term injury, and in the long run, he'll be fit. So that's what most players, they don't like. One thing that I've discovered for most of these football players, they don't like surgery. Surgery normally takes you for a very long duration out without playing football, and it is beneficial when you look at the long run. Araujo, luckily, he's still a very young boy, still 23 years old. I think he still has a lot to play. This was supposed to be his World Cup debut, and that is, in fact, it could have been a special World Cup for him, but that's even the more reason why it is surprising how Araujo took that huge decision. And of course, he did it for the good for Barca, not for the good for for Uruguay. So I think his love for Barcelona is just too much. Like, I don't know. We have been seeing around the way he speaks about Barca, the way he respects the badge, avoid smashing the Barca logo at the surface of the Camp Nou. I mean, he's a diehard Barca fan, and I think he did this very brave decision to favor Barca more, because Barca, Xavi, and of course Dr. Ricard Prona are very much happy with the idea for him going for a long-term treatment. So great one there, great one for Araujo. And Uruguay, from what I'm being told, they are not happy at all with the decision, because earlier in the morning I did see how Uruguay are trying to pressure Araujo not to go for a surgery, but rather going for the conservative treatment. And of course, we know that Uruguay are saying this because they don't want to miss Araujo for the World Cup, because he's a very crucial player there as well. So let's see how it goes for Araujo. Let's see. Few hours time will confirm if actually he will go for that permanent surgery. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, the date and time for the first Clasico of the 2022-23 season has been confirmed, with Barcelona scheduled to take on Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu on Sunday, October 16 at 4:15 p.m. Central European Time. Both sides are set for hectic October, with Barca due to play Real Mallorca and Celta in La Liga and twice Inter Milan in the Champions League before heading to the Spanish capital. Real Madrid are set to play Getafe and Osasuna in the Spanish top flight, and also play a European doubleheader against Shakhtar Donetsk. The clash between the two old rivals will be equally anticipated as always, and is likely to have a bearing on this season's title race. Real Madrid have been perfect so far and haven't dropped a single point, while Barcelona only dropped points in La Liga game coming from the opening day against Rayo Vallecano. Los Blancos have had the upper hand in this fixture recently, but Barca will fancy their chances of taking 3 points. We need no reminding that they beat Carlo Ancelotti's side in pre-season 1-0. Then on to the final story of discussion. Barcelona defender Jules Koundé is reportedly hopeful he will be fit in time for the El Clasico on September 16 at the Santiago Bernabeu. The Frenchman has been ruled out with a hamstring injury sustained while on international duty and has since returned to Barcelona. Diario AS are reporting that Barca are hopeful Koundé will only miss 3 weeks, provided his recovery goes according to plan. Koundé would therefore be ready in time for the trip to Madrid, although it is not clear if he would be available to start that match or just be fit enough for the match. Mundo Deportivo have a similar line and reckon Koundé is hoping to come back earlier than expected and is determined to take on Los Blancos. The defender has reportedly already spoken to Xavi about his situation and told the coach he will do everything he can to be fit in time for that game. If Koundé did return in time, then it means he would only miss La Liga games against Real Mallorca and Celta de Vigo and the Champions League doubleheader against Inter Milan. The Frenchman's return would be a boost, particularly with Ronald Araujo set to miss out, although Barca certainly won't want to rush his return and risk a relapse. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.